were some of the key people. Mario Nieto. There are plenty of others, but I don't want to take all my time thanking all y'all. All right. Um. So when I went to basic training, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was just getting the fuck out of. Gus said, "Look, I just got to get the story out. However I do it is it. That's the other good thing about Flow Health. It's me. I can do whatever the fuck I want to with it. I might even reveal something at the end of the video. But anyways, so, my military experience really boils down to this one gentleman who, when I was when I was in training at Lackland Air Force Base, this Marine handpicked me to go into this 820th Security Forces Squadron, right? Which was a tenant unit at the largest rescue base in the United States that I'm aware of, called Moody Air Force Base down in Valdosta, Georgia. Right? Crazy. Out of all the places that I would get sent to would be fucking back in Georgia. Alright? Yeah. It's been a crazy life. So, um, so basic military training, basic shit, got crazy stories that I'll have to do in other times. Tech school is when I met Sergeant Chambers. I decided that I would put out for this gentleman to be allowed to be on this elite unit that our squadron would be the first to be picked out of, that were coming in from an idea stemming from Vietnam, where Rangers would jump in with no our guys, our airmen would jump in with Rangers, and when Rangers would seize an airfield base, our guys would be there and set up a defensive patrol. So they were like a ground combat infantry unit. I'm not going to even discuss all the basics of what we do. You can look it up. 820th Security Forces Squadron. You'll get a better idea about some of the shadow work I did. As never, like, some of you know my story and some of you know me from my shadow world. So you're listening to this shit carefully too. A lot of y'all don't know that I was a fucking cop in the fucking military. But also, don't get it twisted. In the Air Force, the difference is in the MPs of all other military branches, they already have their infantry that fight for them. In the Air Force, we have to be knowledgeable of law enforcement and skilled in ground combat. And that's what separates me right there from a whole bunch of other motherfuckers talking a bunch of shit that they don't know. Right? Because I didn't sign up to kill any motherfucker. Right? Period. I signed up to get away from a better. I wanted to do better for myself. Trust me. I already saw problems with my life just living there. I already wanted to get the fuck away, and so I don't even know what to tell you. I found that I could steal knowledge that would benefit me, right? And I also had a teacher who was teaching me how to be a more than capable warfighter. And I'll spend some time in the video and just let you know, because this is where you'll have to make determinations between, is this a gentleman in war or is this a gentleman not in war, right? Um, because the shadow world of war is very, very different. And he taught me a lot, right? To be impeccable with my word, and then if it come down to it, be the only one that stands on the truth, right? And this is where I tell people that being trained by this Marine didn't help anybody out. Nobody that fucks with me ever, after all this shit, will ever get anything but a good look from me straight dead in the eye and be like, what kind of programmed are you, huh? What are you programmed to do to get in my way? Like, what level of knowledge are you on? I have enough questions to be digging deep to the actual doctors who prescribe medicine, who prescribe to the shitty way of thinking that they actually do medicine, right? They do business. The awareness for doctors should be this, and they should be awake enough to fight the pharmaceutical industry, corporations, business executives, layering this plan for you under the Rockefeller medical education system where you're a businessman. And so I'm stepping up. This is what this whole video is about. This is why I want the fucking doctors and the smart people to just stop for 1 second and let me be really true that this is for you. Right? All right. I'm stepping up right now because I see that procedural and prescriptional medicine is not the way to do it anymore. Right? So this is the revolution. And luckily, I've been through all this shit and came from where I came from to help you in as much way that I can right now. And I don't just dismiss you and leave this shit all to whatever. And maybe I got me now. Okay? So, because that's not what the true spiritual path is about, right? I have to take this and alchemize with it, alright? And that's what this video is truly about. Alright, I fucking just say look up all my shit. I don't care. Alright, so anyways, my boys were hardcore G's and we were trained in special weapons and tactics. I was a fucking security forces member that never killed anybody, but I definitely jacked rounds on 2 different occasions to fuck with anybody who really wanted to test my knowledge of the threat condition level at that moment. Trust me. So, I was taught very well about reprogramming of the mind, and I appreciate this type of programming, especially now that I'm in the civilian world, right? Let me not lose my train of thought, all right, because I want to do this efficiently and I just want to get it over with more than anything. All right, so I am trying to be the tip of my spear, and I'm stealing knowledge from a hospital administrator and a neuro ICU nurse, right? I'm like, oh, well, I'm a firstborn son of the last of my lineage that happens to have the spirit of Bob Marley, born the same date. Bob Marley passes away May 11th, 1981. What does it all mean? Am I here for a reason? So I go to fucking Kuwait. I don't kill anybody. I have my experiences after being trained by this wonderful gentleman who is the most extreme top squared away Marine in the Air Force I've ever met in my entire life. And he's the single-handedly the person who trained me to be a warfighter. And that skill and that programming has kept my identity away from pussy shit and fucking shit that had no business being a part of fucking Flow Health or my life or the negativity associated in the ether sphere of how life is created. It was a very interesting trial in the darkness pattern of life. I like to think about it. Man, so after I deployed, I was trying to do pararescue and just be done with it. Just make my